Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanso, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hell of a show here for you guys. I'm going to go off and I'm going to get straight to the point. Forget subscribing to the channel. All that. Let's get into it. ESPN has to be one of the biggest clown networks that we have going today. It just has to be. And I believe that ESPN is contributing to the deterioration of the public image of men in the United States. It sounds like a harsh comment, but it's not. It's actually not. It's actually the bloody reality. And ESPN is quick to make some of their employees go on television and apologize for standing up for men. Why ESPN does this, I don't know. I don't understand what their real agenda is by doing this. I don't understand why they make it their business to demonize male athletes. I don't know why they do this. Some of you are like, what are you talking about? As you guys know, there was a big brouhaha that took place on ESPN First Take, and everyone is reacting to it. Everyone and their grandmother is out there reacting to it, and it's brought out all the simps. The simps are in full. They're in full effect right now. I mean, they're patrolling the streets. They're blowing their horns. You know, they have their microphones. They just simping it up all over the place, twerking it up, just basically disturbing the peace, right? And some of them are taking issue with the position that I'm taking. Some of them are, but there are a lot of people that are supporting me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of people are seeing through the BS. At the heart of the issue that took place on ESPN First Take are two things. Number one, they were discussing the language that Stephen A. Smith used in terms of attributing the word jealousy to some of the NBA players, the WNBA players that were attacking or deemed to be attacking or singling out Caitlin Clark. And Monica McNutt said you shouldn't use that type of word, that language. Then Jamel Hill jumped out of the trees. Then former ESPN moderator Carrie Champion jumped out to start attacking Stephen A. Smith. Then you had all of these different people coming. There have only been a few people that have actually had the courage to stand up and defend Stephen A. Smith. The only person I've heard thus far, and I could be wrong, is Jason Whitlock. Say whatever you will, but in this particular issue, he's been the only one. The rest of y'all have just been up there twerking it up and knocking over drinks all over the place. So what happened? At the end of their conversation, Monica McNutt then goes on to say, oh, and Stephen A. Smith, you could have been doing more. And I'm looking around, I'm like, Stephen A. Smith should have stood up and said, why should I have done more? For what reason exactly? Why is it my responsibility to promote the WNBA? Why don't they just create a fantastic product? Then I don't have to do it. But he would not dare say that. So what happened? Various people have been coming at Stephen A. Smith for the language that he used in terms of describing those women as jealous. From then, from that point forward, you've had basically people backpedaling. Shannon Sharp backpedaling when he brought Monica McNutt on the show. Everybody's backpedaling. But then I came across a pretty interesting clip this morning on ESPN First Take that exposes the chronic history of ESPN's attack against male athletes that has gone unchecked for years, that no one has said a mumbling word about, and that's what we want to get into today. So in today's audio, we want to play a clip from one of the people that jumped up and was accusing Stephen A. Smith of the language he used, which was Kendrick Perkins, that said, you need to be very careful of the language you use. Jealousy is a very strong word and you shouldn't use it. Today, we're going to play a clip from an ESPN clip 3 years ago of Kendrick Perkins, I believe Max Kellerman, and Stephen A. Smith on a panel where Kendrick Perkins was referring to Kyrie Irving, ESPN's favorite punching bag, as a jealous individual who was a hater of LeBron James. We're going to play that for you right now.
I'm not about to dive into how skilled Kyrie is because I have him as number 2 behind Kobe Bryant all time. We know this guy's talented. He's going to go down as one of the most skilled ever. And he was giving praise to Kevin Durant. But you could do that without taking shots at another player. And here's the truth of the matter. He is a bona fide hater. He is so jealous and he envied LeBron James that he can't even hide it no more. It's seeping through his pores. I wouldn't be surprised If Kyrie is sitting at home having watch parties, having a Dame Lillard jersey in the first round, saying, come on, Dame, score 50, send him home. All of a sudden, LeBron James beat him. And then I wouldn't be surprised if he had a James Harden jersey for the next round. Come on, James, be the best scorer. Send him home. They can't guard you. Rooting for the Houston Rockets. All of a sudden, LeBron sends him home. And then he orders a Jamal Murray jersey. That's what Kyrie is doing right now. He's showing us his true colors. And he's probably on the bandwagon with the Heat. He got a Jimmy Butler jersey. He probably called KD. KD, hold on. They up 13. Don't drop that clip just yet. Ah, man, they blowing them out. Ah, they got hurt. They don't stand a chance. Go ahead and fire it away. Here it is. LeBron James sent Kyrie a life raft and a life jacket while he was drowning in Cleveland before he got there. He couldn't even sniff the playoffs, let alone win the championship, and the disrespect that you're showing to LeBron James when he only tried to show you the way. I was on those teams, one of them. Kyrie, LeBron tried to take you under his wing. He tried to show you the way. You said, hey, I'm tired of being under his shadows. You tried to go to Boston. You tried to lead that team. And what happened? It was a disaster. They couldn't wait for you to get out of the Beantown. All of a sudden, Brad Stevens was smiling from ear to ear. Now he had his team back. The fact of the matter is Kyrie can't stand it watching LeBron go for his fourth title with the Los Angeles Lakers and having a Laker fan base now, and he just hates it. He's losing sleep at night because LeBron James is on the verge of winning his fourth title. He's a bona fide hater. He's jealous. He envies LeBron James, and there's no other way to put it. That's just the hardcore facts. He showed us his true colors, and it is what it is.
I'm not gonna call him names, and I'm not gonna go as far as to call him a hater. You know, the bottom line is that, again, I just think it was inappropriate for him to say it at this particular moment in time because you're doing it during the NBA Finals.
So you heard the clip. If you noticed at the very end, who was defending Kyrie Irving and saying we shouldn't use the word hater? Oh, it's Mr. Big Bad Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith was saying I wouldn't go as far as calling him a hater. But Kendrick Perkins was up there saying that Kyrie Irving is jealous of LeBron James. When they used the word jealous to refer to male athletes on ESPN, no one said anything. Where were all the people that are now coming up to attack Stephen A. Smith for the words that he used? Where were you guys? Where were you? Kerry Champion, where were you? Jamel Hill, where were you? Monica McNutt, where were you? All of these, the Dan Le Batard show, the panelists that were going after Stephen, where were you? All the people in the comment sections, where were you? You were nowhere to be found because it was commonplace at ESPN to demonize men. And all of you went along for the ride. But all of a sudden, when you had a moment to virtue signal, all of you stood up, and now all of a sudden, we want to talk about how dangerous of a word jealousy can be. And you wonder why the United States is in a mess that is in right now from a societal standpoint when we're talking about men vis-a-vis women. We wonder why. Do you see how all of you guys contributed to it? Do you see how you guys contributed to it? Do you see the blatant attacks that have been put towards men for years? But yet we're the evil ones. We're the bad apples in society. But meanwhile, you have had media constructs like ESPN that have made it their business to demonize male athletes for years. And when they choose one that they decide is going to be their punching bag, they never relent. I'll give you guys some examples. Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook. They determined that those guys were going to be the media dogs that they were going to flog every single day. When Skip Bayless and Mr. Shannon Sharp were on Undisputed making fun of Russell Westbrook for years and years and years and years, everybody went along with it. It got so bad that Russell Westbrook's wife had to basically tell them, stop calling my husband out of his name, and you clown ass was in the comment section talking about, oh, well, he didn't play well, and if he didn't play well, he deserves to be slandered. Oh, really now? Oh, really? Had that been a female athlete that they were talking about, they would have been fired. They would have been fired. But nevertheless, the Kerry champions of the world and all of these people have the goal to stand up and talk about, well, you know, women were much more complicated than that, and men, you need to learn how to speak about women in sports. The nerve of you, the hypocrisy of you, all of you played into it. But now all of a sudden you guys want to stand on a self-righteous ledge. All of a sudden you feel the righteous indignation to stand up for what's right and what's wrong, and we need to be careful about the language that we used. Who are you kidding? Who exactly are you kidding? That's why I be looking at y'all in those comment sections like, look at who are we fooling here? You guys all went along for the ride, that it was perfectly okay to demonize men. And I have had some strong positions about male athletes like Ben Simmons and others, but I never was a hypocrite about it. To say, oh, well, we can get at Ben Simmons, but we cannot get at... Did you just not recently hear Stephen A. Smith call Kawhi Leonard the worst superstar in the history of sports? You telling me they've been no bad eggs in other sports that women played in? Do you think Stephen A. Smith would have the balls to stand up and say, this is one of the worst athletes that we've ever seen in sports history? Or that when Simone Biles dropped out of the Olympics, do you think any of them would have had the courage to say any kind of madness like that? But when Paul George said he had mental challenges that he was facing in the bubble, we all stood up, Shaq, the whole lot. Oh, you need to man up. You need to man up. Basically saying that there's a double standard. But now all of a sudden we need to be careful about words. It's a joke. And this has contributed to the deterioration of the public image of men in the United States. This right here and all of these jokers that have gone along with it. This is exactly what I feel about this issue. Y'all can miss me with it. You guys can miss me with your virtue signaling. I want no part of it. Y'all can go do it on y'all channels and act like y'all doing something, but I see through the game y'all playing. Y'all are picking and choosing. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show, and I'm out. Peace.